Hi and welcome back to Warframe. So, if you can get the blueprint from Simulor, you can actually build this weapon, or you can buy it with platinum, but it doesn't cost that much to actually build it. It's one argon crystal, one Orokin cell, I think it was 1200 ferrite and 800-ish. Don't quote me on this, mind. Polymer bundles. So it's not really that much, but it is 75,000 reputation from Simulor in any of the relays, and it does actually look pretty nice. It comes with two polarities, a D and a dash. That's actually pretty cool. I think it's been a while since we've had a decent weapon that's had two polarities to it, which means dropping viral on this is going to be really easy to do with the dreaded D. When you first fire this weapon, it's actually, my first thoughts here were, what? I mean, it doesn't suck in enemies, it just sucks. Right up until the point I went... Oh, there's the singularity. The problem is you cannot aim once you have this thing active. And it unfortunately does seem to be timed. If you do use Mirage's first ability, it seems to be a tad bit broken. Yeah, they're not merging into each other. It is great, because I mean, look at how many things are around there. That is going to be quite a deadly attack, but it's not grouping together and creating the vortex as it's supposed to be. Oh no, wait, we've got a vortex. I've got one over there. I mean, there's like lots of them kicking around here, but still, it's supposed to be creating a vortex here that it's just not creating for some reason. It's obviously created now because I'm not using Mirage's first ability, but if I activate it, yeah, it gets a bit buggy. It's actually pulled them all into the thing. Not the enemies. It doesn't seem to be pulling the... Uh-oh. That's a problem. It doesn't seem to want to pull enemies into it. But it is, in fact, throwing out a lot of these things, and that it looks really cool. And it is creating a lot of random... Seriously? That's like the third time he's spawned in behind us. But it doesn't seem to do a lot of damage. I mean, it's a 29 at the minute. There isn't much more I can do mod-wise here. It really needs the fast hands mod in, which I currently have installed. But I mean, even with that, the reload takes quite a while, but it is a pretty cool weapon, to be honest. Bit buggy, as I say. There should not be this many of these things flying around at once. And their flight speed and distance leaves a lot to be desired. Obviously there has been a lot of bugs and fixes and all sorts for this thing, but yeah, nothing really to make it a worthwhile weapon. The vortex needs to suck in enemies. It doesn't use firestorm, which increases its radius. Ow. The thing I like most about this, more than anything else, is the way the weapon sits on your back there. If I can get it a bit closer, I can see it a bit better. The Gamma Core style thing that's usually on the end of it moves to be halfway up so it doesn't stick out and look pretty bad. It actually is a really nice looking weapon. No, that's not what I pressed. Thank you. And the way it moves to the end is also pretty cool. What is a pain with this weapon is actually getting used to firing it, because it doesn't do any damage. It will actually start to do damage once you get the vortex open. Nope, that has not created a vortex. Do another one. When you actually shoot a ball into it, it does that mini explosion there. That actually deals out damage. But you can't aim these things. To be honest, the detonate feature for the right click, yeah, that needs to not be a thing to make this weapon so much nicer. But when the balls actually merge together, it does do damage, and once you figure that out, this thing becomes so much more usable. Like, a ridiculously large amount of use can be made out of this once you figure that thing out. And it takes a while, especially if you're doing the mirage thing I was doing before. Yeah, they don't merge together, which makes this weapon pretty useless, and I knew there'd be enemies somewhere. It's just the actual accuracy of this thing is pretty poor, and the balls just seem to go wherever they want to. It would be nice if it sucked in enemies. Can't understand why it doesn't, because obviously if it did, why would anybody ever use Vauban again? It wouldn't be necessary. It would just become completely and utterly useless. But I mean, just the fact that when the balls come together and create the vortex, it does even more damage, and if you shoot one into it, it does another burst effect. Figuring that out really did change my opinion on this weapon, and it became so much nicer after that. And it does actually seem to have a pretty effective range. It's just the length you can actually shoot the projectile is pretty bad. I mean, that's it. That's the range of this weapon. That and the balls themselves actually look pretty goddamn nice if you can get a camera into them. So this weapon, all in all, it's not worth what the aggro is to actually get a hold of one, but it is still a pretty nice weapon if you can figure out how to use it and use it effectively. Once you figure that out, yes, it actually does become a pretty decent weapon. So, I'll leave this off here for now, because I've run out of enemies again. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch yous next time, right after I kill this guy.